How's it going, everyone? This is George, aka Hypothetical YGO here, and today I just wanted to bring you guys a new, or not really new, but a locals feature match. This one is versus Dragoon Subterra, aka Guru Control, aka whatever you want to call it. Obviously, I'm thinking he's already on that because he activates the Red Eyes Fusion off the bat, so he's on some kind of trapped strategy, on some kind of back row strategy, unless he hard drew the Red Eyes Fusion, which is very, very unlikely here. So what I'm attempting to do is I'm trying to figure out what he's on right here, and he doesn't really play any further. He just sets two and passes, which leads me to believe that he's just on some kind of trap strategy for Dragoon, and Dragoon is just the boss monster of the deck. So on my turn, we draw for turn, and here's where I really want to get into talking about what this video is about, and that's reading your cards. So as you can see, I just do normal plays here because I already have a strategy of how I'm going to try and clear this board and try and play through that back row. So the reason why I don't search a Zoo monster here is because, one, it's very fragile in the face of two unknown back row, which in this case, those back row were Punishment and Judgment. So that was a very, very fragile play to do. However, if I go ahead and load up my graveyard, I can potentially draw off of a Fairjet if he lets it go through. I could potentially draw a Revolt, and I can play that way. So there's so many different things that I can do. But really, the big thing I want to talk about is reading your freaking cards. So a lot of people just don't understand how much knowledge is going to win you games. Understanding what a use versus activate is, understanding if something just discards for cost or something sends for cost, understanding like that. For instance, there have been matches that I've won because I discarded stuff off of Karas while I was under Dimension Shifter, hard made a Fairjet, made Rugal, was able to give myself double follow-up, and then had Revolt set. So there were matches that I've won just because of that, because I could still summon a Karas under Dimension Shifter because it doesn't have to hit Grave, the monster I discard. It doesn't have to hit whatever. So it's things like that. So that is a really, really good thing. There, as you can see here, he punishments my Fairjet. I get a draw off of the Fairjet as Chainlink 2, and then he's going to destroy the Karas, which is fine. He can't get lethal on board with a single Dragoon. Even if he has Guru, it doesn't matter. I'm going to deal with the Guru here, and you'll see how I do it. So he goes ahead and activates Hidden City as his first thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I have no responses for that. Adds a Subterra Guru, which is fine. I don't care about the Guru plays. I'm going to end up dealing with that anyway. I can play under Shisabu with this deck. I can play under so many different things with this deck. It's fine. So he goes ahead and sets Guru, uses Hidden City to flip Guru face up. Normal plays, right? Normal plays. He has one other card in hand, which in this case is Fiendus, which is even better for me, because what I do here is I activate Ice Dragon's Prison. I target the Red Eyes Black Dragon, since Guru is a dragon. I know that. Why? Because I've read the freaking card. So since I've read the card, I target his Red Eyes Black Dragon, and he has to. You have to Fiendus that, or else you'll lose your entire Subterra engine just like that. Resets it. He can't get lethal by destroying Kit, even if he negates something with Dragoon. Doesn't matter. So I try and strike it here to bait out one of the other back rows, which is Judgment. Putting him on 4K, he's going to lose the next turn because I have another Ice Dragon's Prison set. He negated the activation of that one, which is fine. So I have a free out to Dragoon in my extra deck, being Shureg, being able to just deal with cards like that. He gets to add another Fiendus to hand, which he still has his, or he adds the Trap to hand, sorry, which he still has his Dragoon negate, which is fine. Once again, I just don't care about it because I'm not dying this turn. I'm going to be able to get follow-up off of Kit to send Nerval, add something. I have a Fractal in hand here, so my hand's perfectly fine. And then I Ice Dragon's Prison. I target his Dark Magician here to try and deal with this Dragoon. And then he has 0 cards in hand. He has a set Guru, and he has a Dragoon, which isn't going to be doing anything on my turn. So you'll see here, I just go ahead and I normal summon a guy, make Shureg. Fine. Out that part. And then he just ends up scooping it up after I make access code here. So we're gonna go ahead and watch the fun. So I send Nerval. Nerval effect add Fractal. I have 4 guys in grave ready to go off on the next turn. And we're ready to do this. So I go ahead and I draw for turn here in a moment. Oh, I'm just updating life points. Okay, so I'm at 800 to his 4,000. I draw for turn. Check my graveyard. Make sure there's 4. And then I just go ahead and normal summon Fractal. Yep, there it is. Fractal effect, banish 4. Summon Shureg. Shureg, banish your Dragoon. Get rid of that get rid of that thing. Link Shureg and Fractal off into a copy of Fairjet. Get a search off my Shureg. And once again, this is all because I've read, because I'm able to deal with all those Dragoon interruptions with the Ice Dragon's Prison. I don't care about the pops because my monsters are very small, so you're not really going to be killing me whenever you're destroying my monsters and getting lethal, like just my main deck monsters. The highest one is Fractal at 19. Fine, okay, probably, like, you wouldn't have gotten lethal at that point anyway, even if it was a Fractal that was on board. So that's fine. So I go ahead and I get a search for another Fractal, just grab the follow-up. I have another one in hand. Or no, I discard it for Karas. Karas effect, I banish 3. I summon my Rugal, and then I make access code here. Access code, destroy the Guru. And then I just go battle phase, and he scoops. So that's game 1, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go on to game 2. So for game 2, we're obviously siding in a bunch of our back row removal, but we're also siding in stuff like Dark Ruler. And you see me headbanging over there in the bottom right corner. Of course, have to be listening to rock or heavy music. Sorry, that is my cup of tea. However, obviously we're siding into that. He opens Prosperity, he Prosperity for 6s, and I'm thinking that's fine. It's just this deck has free outs to stuff like Dragoon, stuff like that. So what he does is he goes ahead and digs for cards, and he excavates off this Prosperity, Guru, Judgment, Hidden City, Red Eyes, Dark Magician, and one of the other cards, I think it's like Earth Shattering Event or whatever. I'm not familiar with it. So he tells me what it is. I look up the text real quick and make sure. And I'm like, oh, it's that one. So he adds the Hidden City, which gets him to his Guru anyway. And he activates Red Eyes Fusion, he activates Hidden City here, which is fine. So I'm already thinking, you didn't add Red Eyes Fusion, so you probably already have a way to Red Eyes Black Dragon, or to Red Eyes Dark Dragoon in hand, so you don't really care about that. You obviously didn't want to add Dark Magician for obvious reasons, so you already have either some of those cards or whatnot. One of my followers makes me hydrate, which is fine. You have to do that every so often. Thank you for making sure I don't dehydrate and die on stream. He activates Red Eyes Fusion, gets rid of the Red Eyes Black Dragon that was in hand and the Dark Magician that was in his deck. And he just makes Dragoon here, and I believe he passes with a Fiendus and Dragoon. Two interruptions, not bad. But my hand is still pretty nice. I have Revolt, Ice Dragon's Prison, which once again is just a free out to these cards. Revolt can summon Shureg on my opponent's turn or on my turn, doesn't matter. And on top of that, Revolt can also, on top of that, Ice Dragon's Prison doesn't target, which is all that matters. So I go ahead and I activate Pot of Desires here. Try and just bait out interruptions. So he standby Lancias me. Unfortunate, it happens like that, so I can only do so much. However, I go ahead and I'm trying to remember exactly what I do here. I activate Barrage. Barrage target itself. That baits out, I believe, the Dragoon or the Guru Negate. Doesn't really matter what it baits out. Yeah, it baits out the Guru. So that's fine. I have Kit in hand still. I have a couple other things. So I go ahead and I use Kit Effect. Alright, normal summon Kit. This is how you play around Lancia with this deck. The way you play around Lancia is you rely on your trap cards a little bit more. So whenever you get hit with Lancia, what you do is you use Kit Effect, Kit Send Nerval, right? And then he allows me to use Nerval Effect here, which is a very, 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 very bad move on his part. He should have negated this, but still, that's fine. This is because he's not understanding cards. He doesn't understand what Redevolt does. He hasn't read that one. So he goes ahead and thinks it's Oath, which is the one that can negate Dark Roar and Grave. No, sir. It is not. So he goes ahead and flips Guru. Ice Dragon's Prison target his Red Eyes Black Dragon. And he would end up getting a search here. So, but he's going to go ahead and use Guru effect, or he's going to go ahead and use Dragoon here to go ahead and discard a Red Eyes Fusion to negate it. And I'm thinking here. I'm thinking on how I want to follow this up. So the way I follow this up is I go and I chain Tri-Brigade Revolt. And once again, my opponent doesn't know what this does. So I have the massive advantage of having used this card before, understanding what it does, understanding how it works, understanding what I can do with it. So I go ahead and I summon a Shureg on his opponent's turn, and then he goes ahead and gets his add-off Guru. Perfectly fine. Don't care. Don't really care what happens here. I'm still going to deal with the board. I'm still going to deal with whatever I need to and everything. So he goes ahead and the most you can do, you can't attack over anything like that on this board. I have an All Mirage. You don't have any sets. So I go and banish his Dragoon, and then I have another one in hand. And he thinks, once again, it's Oath. He thinks that I'm just trying to negate Dark Roar or something of the sort. No. Revolt says, special summon any Tri-Beast monsters from your graveyard, then immediately after this effect resolves, link summon a Tri-Brigade Link monster using only those monsters of material. You can only activate one Tri-Brigade Revolt per turn. So it is once again an activation or an activate per turn. So if that was two of those set, then I'm fine. He just he negates the activation. I activate the second one anyway. So I go ahead and deal with cards on his board here with the Shureg. I believe I deal with the Dragoon. And I still get the search off Nerval, because what I'm doing here is I sent off Kit. I made Kit Chainlink 2, or Kit Chainlink 3, Nerval Chainlink 1 to add, or Nerval Chainlink 2 to add, and then Shureg is Chainlink 1 to banish. Or no, I didn't use Kit Effect here, because I didn't want to deck then. I don't see the point in using Kit Effect super early like that. It's not really useful. It's not really going to advance your play too much. My issue with it is that it doesn't... Excuse me. My issue with it is that it doesn't... it makes you burn through your resources too quickly. And as you see, I can just pop off in this turn. He has one set. I can just deal with whatever he has set. I can deal with whatever I need to. I Desires off the top, or I Desires because I had it in hand the previous turn. I have everything to go off. Allie, thank you for the follow during this. I actually got a ton of followers during this match, so that was really good. But you're going to go ahead and see the end of the match here. I go ahead and I activate Tenki. Tenki is going to get me a search for Fractal. And then I believe I normal summon the Fractal here and just use its effect, which is fine because I have like Karas in hand or whatever. My hand is stacked at this point once again. So I go ahead and normal summon Nerval just in case he has punishment. If he has punishment here, I get follow up here. So I go ahead and I summon Rugal, and then I use Shureg effect to banish. He lets it go through. So I tell him I'm banishing the set back row, which is once again perfectly fine. So I banish the set back row. His Fiendus can't work because it has to flip a Guru face up, which is fine. So from here, I go ahead and I banish the punishment because he can't activate it. I tell him he can't activate it because it doesn't target, so you would have had to call it there. So then I go ahead and I just go ahead and make access code. And access code here is game. I just go ahead and try and pop off and go for the style points actually. And he's trying to extend the handshake, but I'm comboing off because, you know. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like. Let me know if you guys learned something. Once again, the thing that I want to drive home is please read your cards. Reading your cards is how you're going to go ahead and win games. Understanding that Guru is a dragon type, understanding that cards can activate once per turn versus a use once per turn, things like that. That is what's really, really going to step up your game, and it has helped me a crap ton. So feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Check out my Twitch down below along with my Discord. Feel free to check out all those links down below. Check out Team Pi for Life, the people that I play test with. Super chill dudes. Have a ton of fun with them. Super nice. On top of that, they are some of the best players that I personally know in the game. So please check them out. And have a great day, everyone.